I miss doing this shit. This my shit. Everybody put your fucking cell phones in the sky. We gonna light this shit up. It's my favorite shit. Love yours. Love yours. Cell phones up. No such thing. Say, no such thing as a life that's better. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing as a life that's better than yours. No such thing, no such thing. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Don't be sleeping on your level, cause it's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Woo! Go for all y'all. It's beauty in the struggle, nigga. Nigga got chills, I ain't did this shit so long. It's beauty in the struggle, ugliness in the success. Hear my words and listen to my signal of distress. I grew up in the city, and though sometimes we had less, compared to some of my niggas down the block, boy, we was blessed. No life can't be no fairy tale, no once upon a time. I be goddamn if a nigga don't be trying. So tell me, mama, please, why you be drinking all the time? Is all the pain he brought you still linger in your mind? Shit, cause pain still lingers on mine. On the road to riches, listen, this is what you'll find. The good news is, nigga, you came a long way. The bad news is, nigga, you went the wrong way. Think being broke was better. Think being broke was better. Why? Shit, cause what's money without happiness? Or hard times without the people you love? Though I'm not sure what's about to happen next. I ask for strength from the Lord up above, cause I've been strong so far, but I can feel my grip losing it. Quick, do something before you lose it for good. Get it back and use it for good, and touch the people how you did like before. I'm tired of living with demons, cause they always fighting more. Think being broke was better. Now I don't mean that phrase with no disrespect to all my niggas out there living in debt, cashing minimal checks. Turn on the TV, see a nigga Rolex, and fantasize about a life with no stress. I mean this shit sincerely. And as a nigga who was once in your shoes, living with nothing to lose, I hope one day you hear me. Always gonna be a bigger house somewhere, but nigga feel me. As long as the people in that motherfucker love you dearly. Always gonna be a whip that's better than the one you got. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you rock. Always gonna be a bitch that's better out there on the tours, but you ain't never gonna be happy till you. Yeah, love yours. Love yours. Love yours. Heart beating fast, let a nigga know that he alive. Fake niggas mad, snakes in the grass, let a nigga know that he arrived. Make some noise for yourselves, Carolina Dreamville Festival. Everybody that came to visit us, man, we appreciate y'all. Damn, I miss doing that song. It's been a long time.
What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's doing pretty good today. It's having some weird technical difficulties. So I'm going to need y'all to get comfortable because this is going to be a long one. We have a lot to cover. I want to make sure that everybody can hear me. How's the audio? You press 1 if you can hear me. You know, J. Cole's my fave out of all of them. My generation, everyone likes to talk about Drake. J. Cole is the unsung hero. So definitely the unsung hero. But in any event, yeah, just having some weird stuff going on with my headphones. So we're going to just hop right into it. Now, we may have some people join the panel, not really a panel discussion. It would be more just like a small discussion about what it's like to be mixed raced or light skinned, more so mixed raced in the New York City area in the late 80s, in the late 70s. Because honestly, I feel like these conversations are regional. They should be regionally based. Being mixed race in the Northeast is nothing like being mixed race in the Deep South. You got completely different scenarios going on. One of the main things that people don't take into consideration is when you are, say, a black, white, biracial, and you live in a neighborhood where You may not run across another black, white, biracial in your building, but you may run into a black slash Pakistani person. You may run into a white slash Japanese person. There's so many different mixed race people, so you don't really feel isolated. And what I'm hearing is the South is a little bit different. And I think the conversations regarding the South and growing up as a mixed race person in the South, maybe those conversations should be focused. And I think people will be able to understand as opposed to just making broad declarations, especially if you've never left your neighborhood or never left your state, God forbid. So, with that being said, let's hop right into it. So, we're going to do this in 4 parts. The first part is going to be just Mariah discussing her experience in middle school and high school. Kids are a little bit easier to deal with when they're in elementary. They're not as hostile, they're not as cliquey. They can be, but typically they aren't. Right around middle school is that's when you start to see a lot of the cliquey behavior. And then people start to notice, that kid over there, their clothes aren't as nice as my clothes. And then they can come up with scenarios of what type of kid that person is and what kind of parents they have. So what you're going to see is the kids they become far more hostile with Mariah, and trigger warning, especially if you're a person who's experienced any kind of racialized oppression. uh, It's going to be a rough one. So we're going to get into that. The second part is going to be her relationship with her mother. The third part is going to be her introduction to the business. And then we're going to wrap things up with her not so healthy relationship with Tommy. So we're condensing a lot of information in possibly a 2-hour stream. So let's see what we can do. Maybe it'll go a little bit longer. And then, like I said, we got that link up there if people want to join the stream. So let's get into it.
Outside, my hope.
Alrighty. What I loved a lot about that specific part was just you can kind of see how important it was for her to kind of bring her family together, even though her family is so fractured. And I can definitely understand the desire sometimes, especially the last child, if there was a very complicated family dynamic. The baby is trying their best to bring everybody back together. And sometimes it works, a lot of times it doesn't. And if you read the book, you realize that no, unfortunately, it didn't work. Her trying to put her family together, but I really respect her trying because some people give up on family, but she didn't want to give up.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's up,
Oh,
friend?
okay. I don't see my avatar. That's why I was wondering. Can you hear me? I don't see it up there.
Yeah, hold on one second.
Yeah. I'm maybe
There you
okay.
go.
Now I see it. Okay. I was like, because you know what? I'm looking at the YouTube screen and not the StreamYard screen. Yeah, just like what was I gonna say? That quick, I forgot what I was gonna say. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'll catch on as I'm getting tired. That's why.
No, same. Honestly, we've been going for 2.5 hours, and I'm probably gonna have to do a part 3 because there's so much I couldn't even get to. But I feel like we'll probably wrap things up with a part 3 and try to do a panel discussion. Y'all know how I am about these streams. I move them around because, man, life hits
Life
you.
gets in the way, right?
Yeah, life is definitely life in this year. So I'll do what I can, and I'll try to drop content as much as I can. Next year, I'm going to have a significantly more content because my schedule will be a lot lighter. So
Okay.
we'll do what we can with what we got.
Looking forward to it. I can't believe, damn, this year's almost going to be over in a few months. It's crazy.
It felt like it just started, but man, you know what they say, the older you get, the more you become used to time flow. So you become, those years do go quickly because you're used to the day. You're used to
Yeah.
the run of the day.
Yeah. Somebody explained it. The reason why when you get older, it seems like time goes by faster is because you have more to compare it to versus like, so say somebody like a 30-year-old has more years to compare it to than a 10-year-old. You know what I mean?
Oh,
They have more
absolutely.
life to compare it to. So it's like it goes faster. I have to go see if I can find that video again. Maybe I didn't explain it right, but that's how he basically said it.
No, that's
Hello? Sound break is going mid
what about
sentence. Oh,
now?
you back. You're back now.
All right,
Okay.
awesome. It's almost like because when you're younger, you don't have much of a reference on time. You also
Mm-hmm.
don't have much of a reference on life at all. So
Yeah.
everything is still new. By the
Mm-hmm.
time you get past that big 25, things aren't new anymore. It's kind of like a continuation. There's new events, sure, there's new stuff, but like it's a
Right.
continuation. But
Mhm.
no, go ahead, friend.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, there's like once you hit 25, there's nothing new under the sun. Like you said, it's a new event, but it's not a new experience. Does that make sense? How we worded it? It's
Yeah,
probably not.
absolutely. No, I
You
actually
know
get
what I
your
mean? I'm
point.
tired.
Same. It's late over there. I can imagine. It's like what, 10 o'clock?
No, 9:32. Yeah, 9:32.
10:32.
That's
It's
not late, but
creeping up there, though. It's creeping up there. So
yeah.
we're gonna wrap this stream up. We're gonna probably do a part three. Not exactly sure when I'm gonna do that, but we'll figure it out. We'll put it on the channel, and I look forward to seeing you guys. Leave comments. If there's specific parts that you guys want me to point out that's in the book, especially if you're familiar with it, let me know. Put it in the comment section.
Yeah, I'm definitely. This is my first time ever. Like, well, I don't have Audible, but just like hearing an Audible book, because I used to feel like, oh, this is so lazy. Why can't people read? And but now I see like it's very relaxing to just sit back and like listen to an Audible and stuff. Like, oh, I gotta get this. I gotta get my
Especially
book.
if you have a lot of stuff you got to get through, if there's a lot of reading that you need to do, like I had a
Mm,
lot of my textbooks that are on Audible, so it
mm.
was easy for me to get through a chapter and multitask. And it's thank God for Audible.
Yeah, I bet, especially for students. I remember when I was in school, what I would do was like I would read a chapter because like I learned by not just reading, but also hearing and doing, but for the most part, reading it and doing it myself. But what I used to do is like read my textbook, just read it into a recorder. And then I would just play it over and over again on the car ride to work or something and stuff. And that's how I learned. I had to like repetitively keep teaching myself. So, yeah.
Man, that nursing program was a monster. I had to leave that program. It was too much for me. So like honestly, maybe if I would have tried to do that approach, because I wasn't using Audible at that time. Like
Mm-hmm.
Audible didn't exist when I tried to do the nursing program like
Mm.
5 years ago. So you
I know in
know,
my nursing program, they wouldn't even let us. I don't. Well, Audible might be different, but I know that wasn't for that when I was doing the recording. No, that was for another. I had changed programs, but yeah, my nursing program, we couldn't even have a tape recorder in the classroom. You had to remember what the fuck they said. Like they were just bitches. Nursing school is hard as hell. Nursing school is hard as hell, and the teachers ain't shit.
and I also
Telling
hear that
me.
like once you get to your clinicals, you have a lot of people who are like who's supposed to be like your clinical supervisors trying to undermine you. I've heard horror stories about nursing.
Nurses could be bitches. They really can. Like, we have a saying in nurses eat their young, right? So not only does it apply to nursing school students or new hires on the job, it also, I mean, like to new grad nurses, but it also applies to new hires. A nurse can have 20 years experience and start a new job somewhere else. Guaranteed there's gonna be at least two nurses fucking with her, trying to bully her. Like
Why?
it's something about the personality. Some nurses are fucking bitches. They really are. It's just I'm not a bitch.
Well, honestly, I've as a person who's worked as a social worker for well over a decade at this point, I can
Mm-hmm.
agree. A lot of them, not all of them nurses are bitches, but a lot of them social workers are awful too. They did that like they're real passive aggressive, where the
Oh,
nurses are just aggressive.
well, I was about to say I didn't notice that, but that's a fucking lie. I sure did notice that. There was this one social worker we had. This when I was working in dialysis. Because when you work in hemodialysis, like that's the most I've ever. like spoken with a social worker. You know what I'm saying? Versus like a nursing home, or anywhere else and stuff. Well,
Right.
mostly like a nursing home or a hospital and stuff like that. But you really deal with the social workers a lot in hemo and stuff. And there was just this one, oh, she used to get on my nerves. It's hateful as hell. Oh, you were a candy striper, Abby?
See, the thing about nursing, the reason why I even got interested in it is because I wanted to become a nurse practitioner. Because at that
Oh,
stage of the game, I wanted to
yeah,
prescribe medication. But I'm like, you
yeah.
know what? I'm good. I'll become a psychologist. It's significantly easier than
Mm,
becoming a nurse practitioner.
hmm. Oh, Abby was a nurse too. Yeah, you're not working anymore, Abby? Like as an RN or LPN anymore?
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Got the medical field in the house.
I honestly wanted to do a stream about just crazy shit that we've seen in like the medical field because I got some stories. I
Yeah,
got
I bet.
this lady actually tried to. She low key asked us to kill her mother, like
What?
on some crazy. So the story is like this: I was at Gero Psych, and
Mm,
this lady, like Gero Psych, is 55 and up, but
mm,
this broad was about like 90 something years old. So they
mm,
bring her in. She's screaming, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Old white lady, right? So I'm
mm,
a social worker. I've been at this hospital maybe a year. So it's standard, you know. She has a UTI. Anytime
mm.
you have a person with dementia and UTI, they start wilding. It is what it is, right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
her daughter comes in. Now, mind you, this bitch is 90 something. Her daughter is like 60, almost 70, right?
Mm-hmm.
So she comes in, she's all dramatic, and one you can tell she's a rich white woman. I can tell by how she's dressed. She's definitely very wealthy. And like
Mm.
that old money. It's kind of hard to describe, but you can
I
like
know the attitude
tell.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked with a lot of Jewish people. I worked in a Jewish home, like a Jewish nursing home. So yeah, I get it. Go ahead.
So so she rolls in there. She's like, "Oh my God, you guys, there has to be something that you guys can do." I'm like, "Well, you know, she's kind of hallucinating right now. She has an infection. Once the infection resolves, a lot of those
Mm,
behaviors are gonna, take care of themselves. If she gets worse, we'll take her to hospice. It is what it is. Like I didn't
right.
explain it like that. I explained it like a social worker, but like
Mm-hmm.
she's like, no, you don't understand. It's people can't live like this. I'm like, yeah, she'll get through the UTI, and she
Mm-hmm.
takes what Keflex for a couple of days. It is what it like. She kept focusing on people can't live like this. Can't I do something about it?
Oh
Can't we put her out
wow.
of her misery? I was like,
Wow.
bitch, this is not the Dr. Kevorkian School of Medicine. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Wow.
So
The
I had to.
nerve of that bitch.
She slick said it a couple of times. I said, I hope this old bitch live another 20 years. I hope she outlive you. Like, because wow.
Let me
That's
tell you,
crazy.
if that had been my patient's daughter, I would have been like, no, she can't come to visit her mom anymore, or something, or somebody needs to be in there while she's in the room with her mother because she's gonna kill her. Like that's what I would be thinking. Like, because she's asking us to kill her, basically, and stuff. What's gonna stop her from going in there and shooting up her mother with a bunch of insulin or some shit? You know what I'm saying?
So of course I told my supervisor and I also told risk management, and they were acting
Good.
like, oh, there's nothing to really worry about. I said, okay, now if
Mm,
that bitch kills them, it's not my ass, it's yours. Because
exactly.
I did my job. Like, because I've noticed in the healthcare industry, you got to take care of yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
honestly, these CEOs, these directors, corporate, none of these people care about you. Even when I moved to
Mm-hmm.
corporate, because I work corporate now, I can
Mm-hmm.
see how they talk. They look down on these like nurses. They even look down on the doctors because to them, like we can get another doctor. We'll get
Yep, they're
another
just a
provider.
body in the building. That's all. You're just a body. You're not a
Absolutely.
person. And a person that's doing hard work. They don't. They just see you as somebody to have like staff or whatever. Like they don't care. They don't care at all. It's so
But
frustrating.
absolutely. Let's do like one of those type of streams at some point. I think like we all will have some pretty interesting, crazy stories over just
Yep.
like the last like I guess collectively I have a good 13 years. I don't know how many. Sound like you have at least 25 years to almost 30
Mm-hmm.
years
Something
or
like
so.
that. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
Something like that.
I'm gonna see if I can also get another friend on. She's a psychologist and she's heard some
Oh,
crazy
good.
shit too.
Oh,
She,
good.
She's also a white woman with biracial children. She's a hoot. So I'm gonna
Okay.
see if she wants to join the stream and kind of talk about some, because she's one of those people who, she works in the Detroit area,
Mm,
and she notices, because she has biracial children and she works for a private agency.
mm,
So they have the option to take the Medicaid clients or just take the private. And she
mm.
notices they always give her the Medicaid clients, and she doesn't care. She loves kids. She,
Mm,
especially urban kids. She loves them. So
mhm.
she notices that the other professionals do that. So it'd be interesting to bring her on and kind of talk about just the weird shit you see in healthcare.
Yeah, that will be really interesting. I would like to hear what she says about that. That's interesting.
But we're gonna call it a day because many of us are tired, me included. I know Fran says she's tired. You guys have been rocking with us for almost 3 hours, and we're gonna have to do this again. We're gonna do a part 3. I just don't know when, but
Okay.
I'll let you know when I know.
I wish I could be a better interviewee. I'm not good at being interviewed. I'm like, what do I say and how do I say it? I'm
Hey,
sorry.
we making it happen though. So I'll
Okay.
holler at you later,
All
and
right.
we have each other on Discord. And hey,
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your night, everybody.
All
Later.
right. Thank you for having me. All right. Bye,
Thank you for
guys.
joining us.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye bye.